Thank goodness 2023 is over. I mean, I'm sure for some it was a great year. For me, it was challenging. I'm not going to lie. It was full of surprises and the requirements for making adjustments in my business and how to survive another recession, honestly. And I think as business owners now, we're well on our way to planning our goals for 2024 and setting our budgets and helping our teams. I know we're well on our way at Heritage and as well as for my own business. And it's so important, I think, as business owners for us to look back. And even looking back just 1 year or 2 years helps me sort of establish what will this year be? What will 2024 really look like? Because we've learned a few things, haven't we, in the last couple of years? And I think it's important to really pull some of those nuggets of lessons and help us form what an effective 2024 business plan, what that might really look like. It was a tough year, not going to lie. And so the budget for 2024 is going to be adjusted. It's challenging because we're always planning budgets almost a whole year in advance because I don't know what 2024, what the year in real estate is really going to bring. And yet I still need to be able to plan for that. So I'll be looking at the past couple of years of business and really doing a deep dive analysis. And I think that'll help me set up for 2024. And I think as business owners, it's important to look over multiple years instead of year over year. And part of why I was saying that is if I only look back at last year, the cuts in the budget and the way I approach my business would be dramatically different if I didn't have the history of being in business now for almost 25 years, where instead I'm able to look at past success, challenges, and so forth to really help plan for 2024. And it's truly a stacking effect that really allows us to refine our business plans and look at what worked, what didn't work. Another thing that I've learned is technology is really shaping my business. And I think it's shaping all of our business. Coming out of COVID certainly changed all of our way of doing business. And now technology has stepped into my real estate world. And the amount of information and false information that is out there, and really watching how social media is really framing the way we do business and how we communicate with our customers and clients. So we'll be looking at that in a more deeper analytical way of how to use these new technologies and really be able to lean into those so that we can be as effective, budget conscious, and on point for a successful 2024. I wish I had a crystal ball. I truly do. But it's just taking it one day at a time, honestly, looking to the future. I can't plan for the whole year. I'm really more of that shorter version, but it'll be the first 6 months for sure, and then head down the first 3 months in terms of a business plan and getting after the activities to really set us up for success in 2024. When we stepped into January of 2023, the market had shifted already. It had shifted for about 5 months. So we knew that it was going to be challenging, but there was so much optimism in the market that we just kept going and kept going. And I would say about 4 months into the year, so end of April-ish, is really when I started honestly to feel a little bit panicked about what's going to happen. We were not doing the transaction volume that we needed to do. And frankly, I was literally writing checks to keep the doors open because the income wasn't there. And that's one of the challenges of owning your own business is you got to make payroll, you still got your expenses. And I was fortunate enough to have had the reserves in advance. But still, writing a fat check every single month as a business owner is not any fun at all. And it was a scary time. And it was to a point like, what am I doing this for? I'm working so hard. I'm writing checks now to keep the doors open. It just created a lot of doubt for me. Like, am I doing the right thing? Am I a good business person? Should I keep doing this? Let's just, should I shut the doors and do something else? Like it started to build up a lot of fear about, can I really do this? And I am very fortunate enough to have an incredible support team around me, including this film crew that is doing this today, to encourage me to keep doing my business, as well as really leaning into this passion project of living in Yakima and really wanting to create a new narrative for Yakima. So I think having a vision for what I really wanted to see happen and the changes I wanted to make in my business and how I show up as a community member helped me get through those dark days. But writing checks to keep the doors open that's just not any fun. So again, just refining my skill set in terms of being a business owner and getting better at it all the time, leaning into other people that have been through more hurdles and bumps and dips and valleys and peaks than I have, that will help me get through the hard times, as well as celebrate when the times are really good. So it's been a challenging year. There's no question about it. And more doubt, I would say, kind of crept in a long time. And I'm grateful for the friends and support that I have around me to get through those times. And you know what? We finished the year all right. We really did. It was not good. We are covered in bumps and bruises. Bank account is, more balanced now. Thank goodness I'm not writing checks anymore. But it was hard. And I also know that the end of that hard time is not coming fast. And so it's so important to stay the course, keep my head down. I encourage you to keep your head down and just keep doing the activities. It will be rewarded when this economy does turn and things get a lot better. I think that one of the benefits of a shift in economy or a shift in your business, whatever that might be, where new competition steps into the market or whatever, it forces you to reinvent and it forces you to do things outside of your comfort zone. Video and social media has been it's been at the helm for so many years now, and they've been pushing on real estate agents to get into it. And I was resistant for a long time because I feel like it takes a lot of courage to sit in front of a camera and speak what you have to say. I leaned into an incredible company called Digital Vendetta, and they make me feel so comfortable and have helped me create my story. And we started with a book by Donald Miller that helps me, and they run their company the same way, to tell our story so that people will understand who we are, what we do, and most importantly, why we do what we do. I can't say enough nice things. I always get choked up when I talk about them because I think they are the bomb. And they have supported me in being courageous to sit in front of you and talk to you, as well as allowing me to share the dream of Yakima. And we have had so much fun shooting and telling the story about our valley. And that reward keeps me going. It just feels so amazing. I love it. And, but it truly is a passion project. So can you imagine? I'm like, what am I doing spending all this money on my passion project and my business is down 30% and just feeling all that pressure. But I have such a belief that there is a story to be told, and I want to help be one of those storytellers and to shine a bright light on this valley. I say it so many times, you guys are going to poke your eyeballs out, but I just feel so passionate about it. And I think that has helped me get through these harder times, even though it's a significant financial commitment. It fuels me and lifts my spirit. I have hired a lovely young woman named Leah, and she owns a company called Site Savvy. And so she could take all of my wacky ideas and all the different things I want to do and all these platforms that you're supposed to be on, and now she takes care of all of that. I am not good at that at all. So lesson number 2, you have got to have people who are really good at their craft come alongside you to help you execute your dream. And again, it was another investment. It's like, what am I doing and pouring more money into this at a time when the money's not coming in? But I just found that I really want to do this. I really want to talk to women in business. I want to shine a light on what our journey is like and get people to talk about it, as well as shine a light on our valley because it's so important to me. I was really surprised in 2023 that I felt confident I could get through it because I had been through the Great Recession, which I didn't know if that thing was ever going to end. I was delivering bad news on the regular to people about them losing their homes or having to write checks to get out of it. I mean, it was just a horrible, horrible time. And I was just surprised that, you know what, I can do this. I've got the money in the bank. We can keep going. I can fuel my passion project. We will turn the corner. It gave me a lot of optimism to know that this will not be a forever thing. And sometimes when you're in the heat of battle, it feels like, will it ever end? And now I know, as a wise older woman, that there is light at the other end, and it's going to come a lot faster this time than it did in the past. I like doing planning and I like doing the strategizing. So fourth quarter last year, we really strategize on what it's going to look like with the idea knowing that the full year is going to change. So first quarter of 2024, we're going to imp along. Hopefully by midsummer, rates are going to come down. Business is going to pick up. And then by the end of 2024 with the election, everyone wanting to see the economy really come into recovery, that gives us hope. So the strategy has really been to focus on the first quarter of 2024. Be curious to know how other people approach their business planning. But I feel like it's going to be a pretty dynamic year for us as business owners. So it's a different way of looking at it. I don't want to give up my passion projects. These fuel me. And so it's just refining what that looks like. It's refining how all of my marketing is going. So really just continuing to turn the dials on different parts of our business, my business and the companies that I own, on what we can do better, more efficiently, and dial in budgets more, as well as the time I spend. And I am really looking forward to doing more travel. I'm looking forward to creating a lot more content highlighting women in business in Yakima Valley, as well as the businesses in Yakima and what it's really like to live here. I want to continue to just do even more of that work to shine a light on all these people. It just makes me super excited. And I love the response I get. Like, they want to talk. They want to tell me all this stuff. And that just makes me so excited. I think with the living in Yakima, we've really been focused on the different areas. So Selah, Tieton, Natchez, Yakima, East Valley, West Valley, that sort of thing. So I think what you'll start seeing in 2024 is going to be a little more specific. Top restaurants, activities, events that are happening, so that viewers or people moving to the valley can get a deeper sense of what really goes on here. So we've talked about it more in terms of housing, I think, a little bit, lifestyle in each of those cities. And in 2024, I just want to do a deeper dive. Maybe the best glass of wine too. You know, we always throw in some beer and wine, but really getting more detailed in our video tour about what Yakima has to offer in terms of interest for people. I'm excited about doing that. Some of the things that we had to implement in 2023, or I wish that we could have implemented in 2023, did not get fully executed. So in planning for 2024, one of the big thing is to go 100% paperless at my office. And anyone who knows me knows I love paper. I'm a highly tactile person. So for me to go to paperless was huge. It was a solid 5 years before I got there. At least 5 years. And I'll give a shout out. Joanne Hansis is the person who was the turning point to get me to let go of paper and my planners. We had a ceremonial burning of all of my planners. Oh my God, it was such a hard day. But if I can do it, I know my agents can do it. And I've done it. And it's really nice. All the file cabinets are out of the office. Let's go. No more boxes. Yeah, all that stuff. So it's really carrying that through. By the end of this first quarter 2024, my office will be paperless. And that requires me to train my agents, show them exactly the process of how to do that, what we're doing, what it looks like, and then building new behaviors around that. I think that's the biggest thing, is learning new behavior, new habit on how to process our work. So that would be a big thing that I've had to move from 2023 to really give it the time and focus that it needs in 2024. The other big thing is there's so many changes coming in our industry in real estate, and it is a more pointed, intentional education on how we're going to communicate value to our clients and keep them educated, because there's just so much garbage news out there. It's so much garbage that we want to be sure that we are the guiding light of what is true and ethical and how we run our business and how we serve our clients at a deep level. So that's a big part of next year. Lots of training and learning how to guide more, be a great coach, the words that we use, all of these things are really important. So it'll be a deeper dive for us in 2024 for sure. I am most proud of not going into doom and gloom in 2023, to watch our business sharply drop, down 40%. It would have been easy to say, I'm done. I can't do this again. I've been through it before. I don't want to do it again. And I chose not to. So I was really proud of staying the course and being quick to pull people alongside. How do I do this? How do I refine the budget? How do I adjust here? What can I be doing? What kind of training do the agents need? Like really quickly moving from, well, this sucks, to how do I get to a resolution that we can all be successful? I don't know. I'm sure there was plenty of failure and it's just not coming to me right now. I only achieve. I could definitely speak to that. Yeah. When rates started going up at the end of 2022 and the market literally just was slowing, and rates got up to 6% and everyone was like, oh my God, the sky is falling. I was thinking, you got to go, because we knew it was only going to go up. But the consumer wasn't ready to hear that at all. They were just like, I bet I just missed out on 3%. And I was like, yeah, but now you don't have a bidding war. You don't have to pay $30,000 above asking. You don't have to give up all your contingencies. You don't have to waive inspection. You don't have to waive financing. Like, it's such a much better time now to buy. But the big thing was just watching, oh, it's going to hit the fan. This business is really going to change. And so knowing that after watching that happen in 06, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, was recognizing the signs of trouble were coming. And how do we adjust? How do we coach people along and then make that turn in 2023, which was still very difficult. I certainly couldn't have visualized over double interest rates in 6 months, but there were signs, and I feel like I was astute enough to know, okay, it's coming, buckle down, no more spending. I shared that with my agents. I shared it with my girls. You got to hunker in, cut your spending, because we knew change was coming. When I set my goals, which I worked on at the fourth quarter of 2023 to set us up for this year, I have found I can look at the full year and make a decision on what I think our projected income is going to be, number of transactions, that sort of thing, so we can be staffed up and ready for that, as well as systems in place and all of that to help support our goals. But I really like to take things into small bite size. I get overwhelmed by looking at the full year. So if you are one of those people, I have a strategy. And that really is, I like to break it down by quarter, then by month, then by week, and then by daily activity. Because I know that it's all in the activities that make my business successful. So I like to break it down. I know that if I can do 15 transactions per month, I'm going to hit my goal. So to do 15 transactions, I need to make 200 phone calls. I need to write 100 notes. I need to be face-to-face with 15 people a week. So it becomes very specific, and that allows me to fill up my schedule with all of these activities so that I can reach my goal. But I really like it sort of compact and itemized like that. It really helps me stay the course and all the distractions of what's happening around me, and allows me to focus in on exactly what I need to do in order to hit that year-end goal. But I like it in bite-sized pieces. The challenges in my craft of real estate, since the U.S. economy is revolving around, we are the stick that stirs the economy. There's no question about it. When housing is doing really well, everything else feeds off of that. And so this year, the hard lessons were, I can make it through. And it was really hard. When interest rates doubled overnight, literally overnight, it was very quick to make an adjustment of how we did things, where I was spending money on things, recognizing I had to double down on the activities in order to do the same amount of business. And all the while supporting my entire team and all the agents that work in our office to make sure that they're able to adapt. They had never seen a market like this. And fortunate or unfortunate enough, I went through the Great Recession, and those were some really dark days. But they trained me and gave me a skill set that I was able to bring into 2023, because I do know this, we'll get to the other side. This is just a moment in time where it's going to be challenging. So I really feel like what I learned during the recession years has helped me survive 2023 and to maintain hope and be optimistic, keep my head down, and not get pulled into all the negativity of the news media and especially in my industry. So my encouragement to you would be to know we'll get to the other side. And I think it's actually going to happen pretty quickly. It won't be a 3 to 5 year challenge like we experienced during the Great Recession. That's for sure. I think for some people, the word goal is right up there with budget. Like nobody likes the word budget, but spending plan is a little more exciting. And I think it can be the same thing with goals, that sometimes it can just feel like, oh God, I have to do more goals. But what if you looked at it in terms of, I need to create a strategy? And I like the word strategy. To me, feels more like an action word, and it feels more optimistic than the word goal, which feels like an end, right? Just like a soccer ball going in and getting a score. It feels like an end. So if you need a spin on words to help you set a plan for 2024, think about what is my strategy going to be, and then break it down however it works best for you. But I like the idea of strategy as opposed to setting goal. But again, you got to figure out what works for you. I know this. If you're going to walk out your door and you want to get from Washington State to New York, you're going to have a plan. You're going to know where you're going to stay, how much food, clothing, gas, all of this stuff in order to get from point A to point B. And your business is no different. If you do not have a strategy on how to get from A to B, you're going to get so lost in the middle. It's going to cost you a fortune in time, money, resource, family, relationship. All of these things fall apart when we don't create a strategy for what we need to get accomplished. When we have strategy, we have structure. And when we have structure, we are able to execute on all the different parts that we dream of and want to accomplish for our own fulfillment and for those around us. So think about it, instead of budget or goal, it could be a spending plan and it could be a strategy. And I just think that feels a little more approachable. And I hope that those two pieces of advice might help you as you're planning out to all of what 2024 is going to look like for you. But it's so critical to have something in mind so that you can measure against your success and know how you're going to get there each step of the way. It's a lot better than being lost in the woods and have an empty bank account. That's for sure. 2024 is going to be a kick-ass year. It really is. We survived 2023, and I really hope that some of these ideas resonate with you and you're able to put them into place for your own business and your own well-being, honestly. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, share with your friends. You can see us on YouTube, Spotify, and of course on Facebook and Instagram.